How are you?
Hello, hello. How are you? Nice to see you. All right. The first wave is in.
I'll get you started, all right? So we want to do stitches. That might be good. Stitch it shut.
So he's using wet slabs that he's forming, and then he's doing sgraffito and glazes. Wow, that's amazing. I like his work. Yeah, too big.
Oh, this thread. Yeah, this is this. No, use the thread that Emily has. Okay,
So, like today, we're talking about those primary colors, the yellow, the blue, and the red in the middle. Sometimes you can do a color and you can't remember. So you know what the best thing to do is to write down how you got that color. Apparently that's what a famous artist named Georgia O'Keeffe did. And she had cards and she wrote down how she got her color, and she wrote it and put it on like an index card and put it in a box. She was very organized.
Yeah.
So it's just experimenting with all different yarns and playing with it. And here I made a slit. So you weave this section and then you weave this section. Because you're not using the beater, so you can do it that way. Yeah.
Why is this messy right here?
Why is that messy? I don't really see it as messy. If you carve very lightly, now watch this, okay?
Do your palm. Okay, right. Now do this. We go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Cool. Oh, I like that. See that little bit of green in there? It really pops the orange behind it. Yeah. Great.
This isn't part of the weaving. Do you remember ever doing that? This is called filler. And this is just some cording that we use here. So we usually try not to cut the cording, but if Helen wants, you can go right through here and cut as close to the metal bar. Whoops, move over. Show you a trick. If you open it up like this and come underneath and snap, how's that?
12, 15. Arrows are taking me.
She's so
Good day, George.
Which color do you want me to put?
Pick any color.
So, that's this one.
With some movie buddy.
Which variety is this?
With it in spoon.
No, I don't, but I gotta go down and get one.
Okay.
I just put it this way. And wind this way.
Yeah. Never Nancy does.
Yeah, but she doesn't, she keeps winding, she doesn't do what I do. And I put it this way, not wind. Keep going. I don't know how much you want, but just keep going.
That what?
All right. Hang on.
You made a mistake.
I always make a mistake. I have to watch what I'm doing, and I just keep going back and forth, and it gets over on the magoonie.
There you go. Keep it in here.
Yes, boss. Maybe I'll do it this way. Sometimes I don't like it the other way.
Oh, hey.
Okay, that's plain weave, right? Like that? Each time?
Yeah. Till you get over here. Here we go.
Where we going?
On the right track.
Tell me your name.
Micah Weber. Micah.
Oh, Micah.
Yep,
A lot of people must think that you're saying Michael, huh?
I know. No doubt the name of Micah in the Bible.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. But how do you capture us?
What's that?
How do you capture us?
Well, I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know
you
how
do.
I'm going to capture you.
We
That's
know
what I'm
the
working on.
secrets of the Spindleworks.
Do you sing, Micah?
Shh. No, I'm on the nutty list.
You sound like you'd have a great voice for
I don't have any great voice anymore.
We're gonna try to do an ongoing sculpture project. And I don't know if any of you have heard of Louise Nevelson. Louise Nevelson is so fun because what she did is she took all kinds of scrap lumber and she put them in boxes and made sculptures that were completely abstract. So she takes a lot of objects and puts them in a box and arranges them. And so the thing that we're going to have to figure out how to do is how does she attach those things to a box? You know, probably she drilled and screwed or glued. So we're going to have to, you know, play around. So you can see, you see all the different components she has in those boxes.
Yep.
You see all the different kinds of pieces of wood that she has placed in a box.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, see that up close, Earl? Let me get by you for a sec.
Sure.
See that? Nancy, do you see all those?
Yeah, she is all.
Let's go over on the bench. And let's go over to this bench. I'm gonna put a bunch of these right here. Can you work on filling your box? Helen, who's the artist?
I am.
Me too.
We are. So Helen, just keep playing with it till it feels right. Do you think?
Another piece of wood.
And think about the layers. So think about which layers work best on the bottom to support the next layer that you have coming.
No.
This is right here. No falling on my watch. Wow, Micah, that's a full box.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna move you over to the other bench, over here. Here. And here. If we watered down glue and poured it in, it might set the pieces.
I know that.
I'm gonna go get some glue.
Okay.
You wanna work together?
No,
That
thank
would
you.
be good.
I don't think so.
Since,
I need help going.
well, we need, here, hold that for a minute.
Sure.
This will work. Let's put your piece right in here, Micah, and then the glue won't get all over the work. It's Mod Podge and it's pretty thick, so I think we need to thin it. Will you stir while I put some water
Don't
in
do
it?
that.
I'm gonna put some water in,
Put it away. You.
and we're gonna stir to see if we
No,
get
you're
to the
just
right
trying to
place.
trick me. You.
I need the brush for a
No, I don't think so.
second. I'll tell you what, you come back when you're ready to cooperate. Let's try a longer piece and see if that'll fit under there. And if you're gonna stand over on my side, and you're gonna hold it out here. We're not going over here in the way. Okay? Let's go through nice and easy.
Come on. Come on.
So this must be a pretty important part of what you're doing to get this done right.
Oh yeah. If I don't get it right, the whole thing will mess up.
Fancy Martha today.
I look for you.
But let's see, the other day you worked on your painting blocks, right?
Okay.
Okay, I'm waiting.
We come
Okay.
here for a reason. We make art and stuff. So we're lucky to be here. That's
See,
all I am.
it's messed up.
I just finished a gorgeous piece of work.
I'm taking it all out.
Don't be
Gonna-
shy.
I'm gonna put it back in for her. Dr. Betty. They call me Dr. Betty.
No, that's Dr. Betty.
I know. That's what they call me here. It's hard, isn't it? Not too bad. My grandmother was a home ec teacher.
No, I don't know.
And she taught me everything. How to make basket quilts, how to make printed rugs, how to make clothes. She taught me everything.
And what's your name?
Nancy Bassett.
They don't see the barriers that so many of the rest of us might see about ourselves or about them. They don't see it that way. You know, I mean, you talk to Nancy, whose hand is stuck like this.
So tell me what you're making.
A tablecloth for my Sunday school.
But she, as you probably know, having spent time here, she'll be like, come watch me weave. I weave with one hand.
I weave it with this hand. I picked colors out all by myself. Right here.
Oh, it's all wrapped up pretty.
Yeah.
That is great. Let me peek at it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, everybody's gonna be so happy to see it on Sunday. That is great. Come on. What we'll do is we'll have Pastor Peter bless it, and then we'll put it on the table.
Okay.
Back to work I go. It's coming slow. You have a lot of pages. You do.
I bought the deli on May 1st of 2000, and my first day on the register by myself was on Monday, and Lloyd Whitcomb was one of my first customers. Now Lloyd can't hear, and Lloyd doesn't speak, but he does a little bit of sign language, but you know, I had no experience with Lloyd, and the first day when he was here, he brought some, like a soda or something to the counter and just threw his wallet on the counter. And I didn't, I was just like, well, what do I do with this? I went in, took the money that I was supposed to take out, give it back to him, and now it's just part of how, how you act with Lloyd. We see him daily, and he comes and goes, so he comes in, gets a bagel and a coffee, and then he'll leave. But that was my first experience, was Lloyd handing me his wallet. I think that Spindleworks lets people see that there is more to a person than meets the eye. I think that you have a group of people who attend Spindleworks who might in a bigger town or a larger city be cast off or maybe ignored. And I think that here in Brunswick, people realize they know that the artists the people who are walking around town, that they are probably from Spindleworks. They know what they're doing. And so I think it humanizes us a little bit here in Brunswick.
It literally has opened my heart to a lot of other members of the community in a way that I wouldn't have before I fell in with this crowd here at Spindleworks. It just, I think it really, just to come here really works on your heart when you see what's happening here and the joy and the creativity. And then you think of what, as a society, we might have done with a number of the spindle workers in the 1950s or early 60s. They would have been someplace where we never saw them. And it's just so wonderful that our community includes them. That they are our community. They are a part of this community. And I think Brunswick has changed, not just people who work with Spindleworks, but people all around town who see the Spindleworkers every day, and they're in a store and interacting with everybody, and everybody at the store knows them and likes them, and it's just, I think it has changed the way the community relates.
So, good.
Cross the road?
Yeah.
Cross with you.
Okay. Now I'm crossing the road.
Beautiful day, huh?
Oh, yeah. About time.
Do you think it's made the community better by...
Yeah. Yes. Well, I think it makes the community more an actual community. As long as there are groups of people that you exclude from the affairs of the community, you're not really a balanced community.
Radio Radio 9, WCME 917, past 9 o'clock on the Midcoast Morning Buzz. We are pleased to have with us Maureen Block. She is an artist mentor with Spindleworks here in Brunswick, and a couple of local artists as well. They are here to talk about the 4th annual All Species Parade. Tell us about the All Species Parade. What's that
The
all
All
about?
Species Parade is a culmination of a collaboration between Artsville Elementary and Spindleworks, celebrating this amazing diversity of species that we are a part of. This past school year, we've had a residency in the 1st grade classrooms. We take 4 or 5 spindlework artists with us, and we've been creating botanical banners with the 1st graders. And we will fly 40 of those botanical banners in today's parade. There's just amazing amounts of art that go on there that come through all the artists in a way that speaks to them individually and to a community that supports art making.
I did everything Wednesday. I cleaned all the bathrooms.
Spindleworks, an independence association, is especially fortunate to be within the greater Brunswick community, because it was born in this community and has been raised for 35 years. This is our 35th anniversary. And the community takes care of us, and we're a part of that community.
Do you write anything inside or no? Or should we just leave it blank?
I think we could leave it blank, but I would love your initials on that.
How long have you been working on this part?
love this. My brother said to me, you have more pages than anybody right here.
You like it?
I love it.
It's pretty. It came out okay. A lot of the pictures are explained in the text when you're reading. So by the time you get to the pictures, you know she's been on stage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Think she's happy there?
Congratulations.
I'm going to work.
Thank you. You're an author now.
This is the busiest book signing I've seen for a while.
Yeah, we should talk. I'll go back on Monday, okay?
You borrowed it. And it's gonna happen again.
You love Rosie. Rosie loves you too. Yes, she does.
I was wondering if you would sign your book for us.
Okay.
I'm just going to sign the book for you. Who's that?
I mean, she had open heart surgery a few months ago.
Yeah, so did I.
Did you?
You did.
Actually, not this age, but a little older.
Really? No, she was 4 months old.
When did you have yours on?
Long time when I was a baby.
When you were a baby?
Yeah.
A little bit older.
Rosalie just saw the cardiologist this week.
Wow.
She went, and it doesn't look like she's going to need surgery, so we're very, very happy.
A couple of years ago, Jim McCarthy and I were down at Spindleworks, and we were doing some writing stuff for the newspaper, trying to get people to write columns for the newspaper. And some people here wrote columns for the newspaper. Helen, oddly enough, Helen wrote something about the Red Sox. Can you imagine that?
And Anna was the very first one.
Anna was the very first one published, and she told us that she would like to write her autobiography. And being a foolish person that I am, I said, if you write it, I'll publish it.
My book is all about love of music, family, and friends. And all of you guys are simplify all that. And also what really helped was my sister Amy, because she was a Bowdoin student and also volunteered at Spindleworks. Without her, I would have been here tonight because my sister did it all for me. And also my mother, who is the biggest advocate that taught me about self-acting in my entire life. And thank you to my mom and my sister.
He's excited to me, so we did.
Mitch, he's just amazingly creative with these characters that he comes up with. I'm amazed by the joy on his face when you understand what he's trying to tell you.
I think art in general is a communication tool for Mitch. You know, I think he likes to get down there and, you know, he has a great big canvas and likes to draw big pictures and bold colors, and where his communication skills are very poor, he uses art in general to do that, and there's an awful lot of things he never would have been able to do.
When they're younger, they can go to school. They go up through high school, and there, they're learning and they're being social and dealing with the world and stuff. And then once school is over, if there wasn't programs like Spindleworks, essentially they can become isolated and not have a place to go, continue to grow and continue to learn. And so for us, it's very comforting having him at a place where he is continuing to learn, is continuing to have social interaction, have someone that's continuing to work with him on his language skills and communication skills.
Very well hang ways to help out inhale the disability house, we do all this, dog safe, or we could go ahead and go with the vow to have fun.
The loom project that Earl's working on, I broke the news to him last week that he had to rethread the reed for the second time, which takes quite a while for him to do, one by one, to rethread the reed. We had planned that it would be enough to fit the whole reed, but he was offset just enough so that he had to redo the whole thing, and he's just like, that's okay, we'll figure it out, we'll do it right.
This is a pig.
Welcome. I will sit anywhere. Hey, over here. Tight over here.
I suggested we do a murder mystery.
Sit right there.
Okay. I had no idea what was going to happen. They would say, this is our work, now we have to vote on whether this happens or that happens. And they took over.
All right, mystery. A mystery is solving something with clues. Our heroine is Eloise, a young woman between 20 and 30 years old, who is married and has 3 lovely children. Jake, Hiccup, and 10-year-old twins, Michael and Michelle. He knocks on the door and an old woman comes to the door. Have you seen anyone suspicious walking in the woods? He asks the old woman. When they get to the body, it is dead like a cucumber.
Cucumber.
And missing an arm, which was broken when the animal, probably a bear, pushed him down. Where's the arm?
Behind the tree.
So, there's John Doe. He looks around, sits up, and says, where am I? What is this place? Who are all these people? And they say, who are you? Are you from around here? No, he says, my name is Harry. I've been hiking around the world to see everything. How did I get here? Now what?
Get under the tree first, then eat the berries.
Oh. Okay, so he's hiking along. Yeah. And he sits down.
Yeah.
All right, I was hiking. Then I must have fallen asleep.
Yeah. When he fell asleep, he hit his head. And that's why he lost his memory.
Ooh, this is good.
Because some berry can make, some poison berry can just damage you.
I was hiking and I sat under the tree and I saw the berries, red and yellow, and I was so hungry, I ate them. Now, one of the things we talked about last week was Kim doing some research on poison berries and mushrooms.
Okay,
Which,
the pictures will show you. I'm not read the whole thing, but this will show you what the berries look like. You know. Next step.
Eat mushrooms?
Yeah, you can, but some poison mushroom you can't.
I was just wondering.
You can, but the poison, and this can happen to you if you eat it.
you have to know what you're eating. You can get really sick.
Yeah, you can.
We're kind of at the point where the kids are in the
Cellar.
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 So,
The cellar
which of
by-
these images should have already happened by now?
That one.
This one. Okay, this should have happened. How about the...
That's the end.
That's at the end, the couch with the yellow bean boots. What about the animals?
Animals were in the woods.
Okay, so we could put the animals in at any point. Is it okay to put the rope like that, or should we put it like this?
No rope.
No rope.
Don't use it.
Put it on another page.
Okay, so is there anybody else we want to add here?
You want to add this, and I'll go up and
Yeah,
reverse
I
it.
want to add the couch and the flowers. Oh boy, hey, I think we've done it. I'll just tape it up here.
And did you use this at all?
No, I'm going to use the full size one. I think it looks great. And there'd be no paper waste. Okay, so this is the cover, off-white with black, okay? I think I can take these out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
done.
Then we see this. Then I like that.
Yeah.
And then we see this in the authors, the alleged co-conspirators. All right, and then this is sort of a big text finale, right?
That was
Oh,
so wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, and then these won't be here.
No.
You'll see tan
Yep.
or off-white,
Yep.
and then
There's your tree, Earl, right there on the back.
Woo! This is going to be really nice.
The milk is done, the book is done.
Ways
Alright, let's
after
go print it.
I met your daughter.
Why, I can't go in there?
Yes, come
Oh,
on, make it
yes.
a party.
Look at Maureen. You can make a film.
He is making a
Film.
film.
I got it. I'm an artist.
Right there, try that.
I like it blue.
Okay, stay right there.
Hold on to it. There we go, gently. There you go. Not in the wet spots though, right? Oh, you want that?
Oh, no. Yeah, find your way. You begin with it only. Sweet Caroline.
She loves the camera.
Sweet Caroline.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah,
never-
so good.
So good.
So
So good. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Good times never seem so good. So good. So good. So good.
Don't you get my finger. Mix it around so it's not really wet, but it's a little less gloopy than that. And remember yesterday about taking taking some of it off your brush so it's not too gloppy.
While I would like to see her do some larger paintings, her satisfaction is much greater with the blocks, so I'm happy with the blocks. For the last 4.5, almost 5 years of my career, I designed ships and then I managed the construction. So we've lived in Japan and Europe and all over the place. And California was the last stop. I knew I would retire after that job. And I was getting concerned that Caroline had followed me around and had nannies and all that stuff, but not much of a life in terms of a purpose. When it came time to retire, I decided I would try to find a place that had a program for disadvantaged artists. So I started out on the East Coast thinking that if I stayed on the West Coast, my other 2 daughters would disown me. And I started out in North Carolina where they had a program. The North Carolina program offered chainsaw art in a field to disadvantaged artists. And I just couldn't imagine Caroline wielding a chainsaw and carving wood. So I worked up the coast, Columbia, South Carolina, different places, and almost everyone had a workshop program where you assemble things or do repetitive tasks, but in the corner there would be one room where people could sit and just draw or paint, but not a real art program, just a busy room or sometimes no supervision at all. I then went a place in Baltimore that was really good, had a waiting list of 3 years, but they referred me to a place in Rhode Island where I went, and that was quite good, but also a huge waiting list. And they referred me to Maine, to SpindleWorks. And I looked at a number of places in Maine, but when I walked into SpindleWorks, I had a feeling that for Caroline it was going to be the perfect place.
I'll leave that here for her.
Okay.
And where's the other money? In your fanny pack still? In your wallet?
I can't find it.
Somewhere home.
Okay.
You'll find it.
Okay.
You'll find it.
Did you put it in the jar for gambling?
You did. That's my dad.
A lot of my contemporaries and even some of my family think I made a huge mistake. This is my 20th year doing it on my own. And I think they're all wrong. I think I'm much better off than if I were just a single old guy hanging around. And she makes a lot of things worthwhile.
So you guys just have a really special relationship.
Well, she's my best girl. And she seems to think I'm pretty good, so.
You don't seem too much concerned about time.
No.
So it doesn't matter if it takes 4 weeks to warp your loom.
Yeah. I don't worry about that.
You don't worry about that?
No, just making the work.
I know it's messy and gluey, so we're going to do a good job. Let's see, move his belly. I want to get his leg again.
All right, now don't be afraid to go like this and see where you're at on the other side. So there, you got it.
I was drawing pictures when I was in my teens. So that's how I got created of animals or whatever.
Good to
silver spoon.
You almost done there?
There. I lost my keys.
Where you put them?
Buried. We met at
High home bath.
at the Hyde Home Bath in Bath. We were so high.
About 7, no, 6 or 7 years old.
Did you know then that you'd end up together?
Not really. Then we went to camp together, and Earl had no hair, and I was there for 4 weeks, and came home. Wanted to go back again, so we stayed there for 8 weeks.
And then how did you meet again?
Apartment.
Where?
An apartment in Portland.
Oh, you were in the same building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. And did you know that each other was going to be in the building?
No.
Huh. Wow.
Well, I was in 21. She yeah.
No, you were in 25. I was in 20.
Oh yeah. Okay, take that back. I was in 25. Pat was 25. She was in 22.
So you weren't really next door to each other, or you were?
Yeah.
Wow. I see.
And later on, somebody let the cat out the bag.
They didn't know until they saw us living together, and they knew that wasn't right at all. But after a while, they decided for us to get married.
Yeah.
You've been together for how long?
Oh, jeez. God.
Either 29 or 30 years.
Yeah.
Cold. Check for you. That is for artwork that sold this summer up in Deer Isle.
Hey. Oh, that looks
like the body of someone.
Thank you.
So some of that is sales from this summer from Deer Isle, from Dow Studio.
When you working for 1850.
But I thought that I would read a couple poems from a long time ago at Spindleworks, and then we would have Spindleworks artists reading you their own poems interspersed with a few interruptions.
If I were a tree, I would want to grow tall with leaves. If I were a flower, I would want to grow beautiful petals. If I were a bird, I would want to sing. If I were a dolphin, I would want to swim in the sea. If I were the sun, I would like to shine. I would want to shine on the flowers and the trees and to help them grow.
This is for my dad. She has lots of words too. Knights, shiny armor, running round. These days, running with a princess and princess. Best of the heart of the stone is the princess bright blue horse with the princess in the heart of the touch in the flowers of the heart. Of the diamond, of the green, of the hands, of the art, of the blues, horse, of the night, prince, of the best, the blues, sun, and the deep part of my heart, in the many ways, and good by shining heart too.
Okay, enough young people. It's time for work.
Great, Micah.
What?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any extras, you guys can put back in here and we'll just take it to the next table.
Hi, Kathy. Hi. You want to help? Yeah. Put a fork at each chair, like this, all the way down, okay?
How about you do that side, I'll do this side. And once you get to where they have forks,
Right there.
then you can put the fork on
Oh,
top
no.
of that.
Oh my goodness. That
I
looks
know.
awesome. I know.
Really?
I'm going to say vintage, like 1990.
Yeah. So, as many of you know, this is the one time a year when we all try to squish into this house to be together and to be thankful for all that we have.
Yeah.
This is a huge family, and that's what it is, and that's what we're celebrating. So I'm very, very pleased to have all of you as my family. And I hope that you will enjoy this feast. There's a lot of food in the other room.
Today, but not usually.
No.
What day does she usually come?
Monday, Tuesday,
And it would be nice if Thursday.
Thursday.
This place is so alive. The minute you walk in the door, there are all these colors and the creatures they make. Well, when I started Spindleworks, people that came with me to Spindleworks were counting popsicle sticks. They had little dies with 12 holes in them, and they put this, and they, now, these are people who could create things like this.
You do out like that.
I'm trying to find
there's the magic that we witness every day. The magic could be between a staff and an artist. It could be between two artists. It could be magic that happens on paper. It could be magic that happens in the sculpture studio. It could be something that a community member says about what we're doing. It's like a sourdough starter that keeps getting fed.
SpinWorks doesn't exist everywhere. This is a particularly special approach. It's an artist's approach, not a professional approach in a way, and it has yet to be seen if this is the model that will, win out. But it certainly for this community has been wonderful.
How do you decide which color to take next?
Well, at night, I dream the colors. Next day, I put them in.